Hello, my name is Megan Monreal and I will be presenting Assessing ESL Reading. What does it mean to assess reading? Teachers will want to collect data to make sure that English as a second language students have letter knowledge and phonemic awareness while reading. This data allows teachers to create lessons based on what students need to learn. Letter knowledge is when students are able to associate sounds with letters. An example of that is we know that the letter M makes the sound, so students should know that the beginning sound of map is m. Phonemic awareness is the ability to hear and manipulate sounds in words. An example of that is when we have our ow blends in the words. Students are able to use that knowledge to pronounce words correctly. Students should also be working on decoding words while they read to recognize words. This means a student is able to use letter knowledge and phonemic awareness to try and sound out the word. The student's ability to decode shows the teacher their reading accuracy. Finally, students should be able to show reading comprehension and fluency while they read. Reading comprehension is when a student is able to understand what they are reading and relate it back to someone else. If a student can read the words on the page but not understand what they mean, then the student needs to work on reading comprehension. There are a lot of strategies to assess reading for English language learners. And these strategies are reading response notebooks, pictorial assessments, gestural assessments, oral assessment, and open book assessments. Reading response notebooks allow for less formal reading assessment by having students take shorthand notes in their notebooks while they read a book. They can refer back to these notes at the end of a chapter, and the teacher can also see questions or quotes the student came across. Did I pause that? No. Pictorial assessments allow students to draw pictures regarding scenes or characters of the story. This allows them to use their artistic skills instead of their words. Some students may have an easier time drawing a scene out instead of trying to find the words to describe it. Gestural assessment allows students to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to a question, or even show a number of fingers to answer a number question. This allows students to show comprehension without trying to form their thoughts into sentences. An oral assessment could be given to the student. However, make sure that the words the student will need to answer the questions are given to them. Yes or no questions can be used as well. Oral assessments are best for students who have advanced listening skills and are able to understand the questions. Open book assessments are mainly used for students who can answer more complex questions. Start the assessment with lower level questions and move to higher level ones. Starting with lower level questions allows the students to gain confidence. Now, why have none of these strategies include tests? Surely standardized tests are the best way to measure students' knowledge, since that's what everyone says. Students can get a thing called test anxiety, which is when a student gets so nervous when they see a test that they don't do as well if they were being tested. Having test anxiety could cause students to focus more on their anxiety than on the test at hand. Also, some educators feel tests only measure what students can memorize, not what they understand. We want ESL students to be able to understand reading, not memorize certain things to pass a test. Finally, time tests add to testing anxiety, and if an ESL student doesn't complete the test, the teacher is left wondering if the student understood what they were tested on or if they just didn't finish in the time given. Tests aren't a bad way to measure a student's progress, but using non-test strategies will allow students to be more relaxed and perform more naturally, so the teacher can best know what the student is learning and what the student needs to learn. Learning English is tough for even native speakers. Let your students know that you're on their side and want them to be successful. Try to make reading assessments fun and engaging for the ESL students. The more relaxed and at ease a student is, the better they will. And these are my references. They were articles online that I got my information from, so thank you very much. Now, pause this.